Namaste. Welcome to Zeel Astrology, your go-to channel for all things Vedic astrology. Now, Ketu will enter the Nakshatra of UttaraPhalguni from Hasta on November 10. It will first enter the last or the fourth pada of UttaraPhalguni, as Rahu and Ketu are always retrograde. The first pada of UttaraPhalguni falls in the zodiac sign of Leo, and the other three falls in the zodiac sign of Virgo. So today we will be discussing the Virgo part of UttaraPhalguni, where Ketu will be positioned until May 18, 2025 next year. I am not going to dive into the whole debate about the mean node versus true node of Rahu and Ketu, because in my personal experience I consider mean node as well and not only the true node. So as per mean node, it will enter UttaraPhalguni on November 10. And before diving deeper into this topic, I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who has liked and subscribed to this channel. Your support means a lot to us. If you are new here, I would be grateful if you could subscribe, like and share these videos with your friends and family. And do not forget to hit the notification bell so you are always up to date with our latest content. And you can also follow Zeel Astrology on Instagram now. And for personal consultations, feel free to email me. All the links are provided in the description box below. Now let's first get into what Ketu in UttaraPhalguni Nakshatra actually means. Now, Phalguni is a pair of two nakshatras, Purva-Phalguni and Uttar-Phalguni. Purva means previous and Uttar means later. And the word Uttar-Phalguni is made up of two parts, Uttara and which means later, as mentioned earlier, and Phalguni translates to reddish. So, Uttara-Phalguni literally means the later reddish one. Purva-Phalguni and Uttara-Phalguni are often symbolized by a bed. Purva-Phalguni represents the front two legs of the bed, while Uttara-Phalguni represents the back two legs. Especially Purva-Phalguni is all about comfort and enjoyment. It's like the phase where you are just lying down, resting or indulging in some downtime. On the other hand, Uttar-Phalguni is less focused on comfort and more about getting out of that relaxed state. It symbolizes a shift from rest to activity. It's like you have finished relaxing and now you're ready to get up and start engaging in something productive, whether it's work, reading, writing, brainstorming, talking, or any kind of active thinking or activity. Sun is the planetary ruler of this nakshatra, and Aryaman is the main ruling deity of UttaraPhalguni. Aryaman is none other than Sun itself, one of the 12 Adityas, or I can say one of the 12 sons of Mata Aditi and Rishi Kashyap. It's obvious that since UttaraPhalguni is ruled by Sun and its deity is Aryaman or Aditya itself, it has many qualities and significations of Sun in it. So it signifies your soul. It has balancing nature, a nature of giving without discriminating, serving from possession of superiority, sharing, charity, the aggression or fearlessness of Sun, and also spirituality, self-confidence, creativity, ego, and much more. And now if I put it one by one, Virgo is a sign ruled by Mercury. Mercury represents what? Mercury represents your communication, your intellect, your curiosity. Virgo is a sign in the Kalpurush, represents your daily routine life, disputes, services, diseases, animes. UttaraPhalguni Nakshatra represents everything which I mentioned earlier. And now if I add Ketu to this combination of Virgo, Sun and Mercury, it's more like an energy of impulsive aggression. How? This combination can make your speech harsh, more harsh. If I consider the negatives of Ketu first, then it can make your speech more harsher than what Sun alone can make. Ketu also represents isolation or detachment. It can be a period when you might feel the urge to withdraw from social life, preferring solitude or isolation. Why social life specifically? Because UttaraPhalguni is linked with social gatherings, friendships, and building connections with others. Wherever Ketu transits in your chart, that particular house is likely to experience conflicts, detachment, or a sense of isolation. When Ketu was in Hasta Nakshatra, the energy was different. Hasta is ruled by Moon, which brought more confusion and emotional turbulence, but less aggression. The influence was more about inner conflict and emotional interest rather than external confrontation. Now that Ketu is entering UttaraPhalguni, we can expect an increase in the intensity and aggression because Ketu itself is an aggressive, intense planet. During this transit, people might struggle with maintaining discipline and perfection as Ketu makes one lazy. As mentioned earlier, UttaraPhalguni is also associated with social gatherings. What are social gatherings? They can be anything from a simple get together with friends or family, or big events like marriage ceremonies or other occasions that require planning and coordination. Usually these events are well planned in advance. However, with Ketu transiting through UttaraPhalguni, we might notice a shift. These events could happen suddenly without much prior planning or face unexpected hurdles before or during the ceremonies. It doesn't mean that every gathering will face problems, but issues may arise, especially in events where there's a lot of showiness or material display. On the flip side, gatherings or ceremonies that are rooted in spirituality or have a genuine spiritual intent are likely to be more favorable during this transit. Because Ketu is all about spirituality and detachment, and it does not resonate with fleshy, materialistic behavior or the need for social approval. So while Ketu may create obstacles in events focused on showing off, it tends to support those centered on spiritual growth or deeper connections. Interestingly, UttaraPhalguni is usually considered as very auspicious nakshatra for ceremonies like weddings. But since Ketu is transiting through this nakshatra, any relationships or bonds formed during this period are likely to have a strong karmic influence. These connections might bring important lessons or require a deeper level of understanding and patience. And when we talk about relationships here, it's not just limited to marital or romantic ones. It can include any type of relationship. Wherever Virgo falls in your chart, that specific house will experience a strong karmic connection during this period. This could manifest in various ways, such as arrival of children or child in your life, or spouse or friends that enter your life during this period, new partnership, business partnerships, siblings, or anyone represented by the house where Virgo is placed in your chart may play a key role where you have to finish some karmic backlog of past life. However, I always emphasize that the intensity, whether it's positive or negative, and the final results of any transit will largely depend on your personal birth chart. It all comes down to which house Ketu is transiting, your Mahadasha, Antardasha, and overall condition of your chart. Those in positions of authority, whether in public or private sector, or anyone involved in media, entertainment, journalism, social media, or any kind of public facing role, this is a time to be extra cautious with your words. Ketu can create unexpected issues, and your speech could play a significant role in either elevating or damaging your reputation or public image. The most important takeaway during this transit is to avoid aggression, whether it's in your actions or your behavior or your speech. I know I am repeating this once again here, which I have already mentioned in one of my previous video, that all the planetary transits right now, including Ketu's movement into UttaraPhalguni, are leading us into a chaotic and tricky period, at least until the mid of next year. This phase can easily trigger aggression, impulsiveness in people, so it's really up to you to decide how you want to respond. It's all about the mental game, how you manage the thoughts swirling in your head. If you choose to control unnecessary anger, curb impulsive reactions, and make wise decisions, then you are setting yourself up for growth and success, both materially and spiritually. So it's a choice you have to make. Do you want to be the kingmaker of your own destiny, rising above the chaos, or will you let the turmoil get the best of you, potentially destroying what you have built? The power to decide is in your hands. The only saving grace is the fifth aspect of Jupiter on Ketu. It can provide you the necessary wisdom and guidance to sail through this time. So again, the choice is yours if you want to choose the wisdom of Jupiter or aggression of Ketu. Also, Ketu is positioned 8th from Saturn, and Saturn is 6th from Ketu. This forms a Sadashtak Yoga. Ketu is sitting in the Maraksthan of Karma, which is Saturn. Meanwhile, Saturn or the Karma is the Prarabdha of Ketu. To put it simply, just remember Karmani Vatikaraste Ma Phaleshu Kadachana. This means you should focus on performing your duties and actions and not on the results or the outcomes of those actions. Just do your karma selflessly without attachment to the fruits. If you follow this approach, you will be rewarded at the right time with the best. So, the key here is to focus on the present moment and leave the results to the divine. Now, let's talk about the positives of this transit. This is a highly supportive period for those looking to deepen their spiritual journey. Ketu's influence can be especially beneficial if you are trying to enhance your spiritual practices, meditation, or inner work. Now, who benefits the most with this transit? If you work in any technical field, especially areas with a focus on the micro elements like microbiology, microelectronics, microanalysis, virology, or any such fields, this transit can be very advantageous. It's also an excellent time for those involved in research. Also for those in healing professions such as medical practitioners, alternative healers, or anyone in caregiving role. This period can be particularly fruitful. Both Ketu and Sun are associated with healing and can enhance your ability to help others effectively. This period is also a great time to give back, whether it's donating to the needy, supporting children in orphanages, or help poor kids. Ketu favors acts of kindness done selflessly. However, it's important to remember that this help should come from a place of genuine compassion and not for publicity or social media likes. As the elder says, when you donate with your right hand, your left hand shouldn't even know. In other words, give without seeking recognition or rewards. Help someone and then forget about it. Neki kar darya mein dal. This is how you can make your Ketu happy and gain its blessings. Along with tracking Ketu's transit in UttaraPhalguni, it's crucial to keep an eye on positions of Mercury and Sun as well. Right now, Mercury is ruler of Virgo and is positioned in the sign of Scorpio. However, the situation is a bit complicated because the ruler of Scorpio, that is Mars, is currently debilitated in the sign of Cancer. This debilitation will continue with Mars moving back and forth until June next year, impacting Mercury's strength and stability. Additionally, Mercury's influence is further weakened by the significant planetary aspects on Scorpio. Sun is also debilitated in Libra but will enter Scorpio on November 16th, making a shift. Following this, Sun will move from Scorpio into Sagittarius, entering Mula Nakshatra there, which is ruled by Ketu again. So given this setup, we can expect the period until end of December 2024 to be quite challenging and tricky. The negative impacts on both Sun and Mercury from these transits are likely to influence Ketu as well. Given the current planetary transits, it's wise to avoid getting into disputes unless it's absolutely necessary and aligned with dharma, that is righteousness. Only engage in conflicts where you are standing for what's right, where there is clear moral purpose, and where the divine might support your cause. Otherwise, it's better to steer clear of unnecessary arguments and confrontations during this time. Now, who will be the most affected by this transit? Individuals with Sun, Ketu, Ketu Moon, Ketu Venus, or Ketu Mercury conjunctions. Those with prominent planets in Ketu's or Sun's nakshatra or Mercury's nakshatra. If Ketu is placed in your first house, or if you have Leo, Virgo, or Gemini as your moon sign or ascendant. Remember, upcoming period is quite complex as Sun will move to Capricorn in January, a sign of Saturn, and then Sun will enter Aquarius in conjunction with Saturn, and then in conjunction with Rahu in Pisces. Both Sun and Mercury will cross these signs. Apart from that, from March end 2025 till April end 2025 approximately, This will be the period when Saturn and Rahu will be almost in tight conjunction with each other. And for remedial measures, I would say chant the name of God that you believe in. I often say that when it comes to controlling the intense energies of Rahu and Ketu, there's only one deity who holds the key, Shri Vishnu or Shri Hari Narayan. For those seeking relief, chant Vishnu Sahasranam or Narayan Kavach, which is incredibly powerful. But here's the most important part. Whatever you choose to chant, do it with your heart and full devotion. Don't do it just because you feel obliged or out of fear that something bad might happen. The real magic lies in your genuine connection with the divine. And that's what Ketu represents. Only when you chant with true sincerity, then these prayers act as a protective shield, offering you peace and support through tough times. Now let's have a quick ascendant-wise analysis. Aries ascendant. For Aries natives, Ketu is transiting through Virgo in your 6th house and will enter UttaraPhalguni Nakshatra there. The 6th house deals with daily routines, health, and conflicts. And with Ketu in this position, it's important to avoid unnecessary disputes unless they are truly worth fighting for or involve a right cause. Ketu's presence here can also make you feel lazy or disinterested in competing with others. You might find yourself wanting to stay away from conflicts or competitive environments. However, since UttaraPhalguni Nakshatra isn't a favorable nakshatra for Ketu, you need to be especially careful with your health during this time, particularly when Sun moves into Scorpio. Also pay close attention to your health while Mercury, your 6th lord, is in Scorpio as well. Jupiter is aspecting Ketu with its 5th aspect. This can provide you guidance in your health part, but you may still feel a bit lazy or lethargic. So it's crucial to maintain a disciplined routine. Make sure you are eating on time, getting enough rest, and not staying up late. Consistency in your daily tasks and responsibilities is key during this period. You might also feel more confused or aggressive about certain issues. So use the Jupiterian energy, which is aspecting Ketu. Use patience and think wisely before making major decisions. And for those who are preparing for competitive exams or seeking public sector jobs, this period could bring some positive results, but maybe not exactly how you expect. Stay optimistic and keep putting in the effort. Be cautious of accidents, drive safely, and handle physical tasks with care. On a brighter side, this time can be favorable for those in legal professions, healing fields, or technological jobs. Taurus ascendants. For Taurus natives, Ketu is currently transiting your 5th house in UttaraPhalguni Nakshatra. First of all, it's a very positive time for spirituality and deep reflection. Connecting with your inner soul is something you can do during this period, and also a good time for mantra chanting. Though with Ketu in the 5th house, you might not naturally feel inclined to engage in mantra chanting, as Ketu can often create a sense of disinterest. However, if you make the effort to do it, it can be highly beneficial for this period. If you are pregnant, it's important to be extra cautious with your health. Likewise, if you have children, keep a close eye on their health and well-being during this time. When it comes to relationships, try not to be overly dominating, especially with your spouse or partner. It's crucial to understand their feelings and perspectives rather than being too absorbed in your own. Ketu's influence can make you come off as harsh or critical, which might unintentionally hurt your partner. So practice patience and be gentle in your communication to maintain harmony. And it's a very crucial period for marriage and relationships, especially until Mercury is in the sign of Scorpio and Mars, your 7th lord, is debilitated in the sign of Cancer. And for students, if you keep yourself organized in studies, this period will act as a favorable, positive time for you. Very important advice for Taurus natives is that try to avoid being harsh with your partner as well as your children. Gentle and patient communication is essential to prevent misunderstandings and maintain healthy relationships. Financially, it's not a good time to invest in the stock market or any speculative ventures. Be cautious with your finances and avoid making large commitments during this phase. This period is particularly favorable for those working in fields related to children or spirituality. You may experience positive gains and see good progress in these areas. If you are looking to enhance this energy, consider donating to orphanages or helping children in need. Act of kindness like these will not only bring positive results but also serve as a healing energy for both you and the recipients. Gemini ascendants. For Gemini natives, Ketu is currently transiting your fourth house and will be entering UttaraPhalguni Nakshatra there. During this period, it is important to avoid disputes or arguments with family members. You may feel a strong urge to withdraw from your social life or distance yourself from your family or close circles. The desire for isolation might be high, but I advise you not to fully detach from those around you. The frustration or stress you feel related to your home or family is temporary and will ease up once Ketu moves into Leo, as Leo part of Uttar Falguni will have its own flavors. Keep in mind that transits are not permanent. This feeling of wanting to escape from social or family obligations will pass. On the brighter side, this period could bring new career opportunities, so be wise and stay open to possibilities. However, it's not an ideal time for purchasing or selling property or assets. If you must go ahead with any deals, any real estate deals, double check all documents carefully to avoid legal disputes or issues later on, as the Lord of Virgo and the Uttar Falguni's Lord are currently influencing your sixth house, which can indicate conflicts over property matters. In short, stay patient and handle family matters with care while keeping an eye out for potential career growth. The key is to avoid impulsive decisions and ensure thorough checks in property dealings during this transit. Cancer ascendants. For Cancer natives, Ketu is transiting your third house and will be entering Uttar Falguni Nakshatra there in the sign of Virgo. This transit may bring up some ego issues with your siblings or even with your neighbors, but be careful with impulsive decisions. Take a moment to think things through before reacting. If you work in fields related to media, communication, or social media, you need to be especially cautious with your speech. Ketu in third house can make your words sharper than intended, so try not to be harsh. Focus on being wise and patient when you speak, as your communication skills will be crucial in attracting people and creating positive connections during this time. Be prepared for potential issues with during short trips or journeys. You may encounter unexpected hurdles. The key is to stay calm and composed when facing any travel related challenges. Leo ascendants. For Leo natives, Ketu is currently transiting your second house and will be entering UttaraPhalguni Nakshatra there. This period might bring a lot of frustration and irritation, especially within your family and home environment. You might find yourself getting angry over small issues or even without any clear reason. And it's possible to unintentionally take out this frustration on your loved ones. There are multiple factors responsible for this. First, Ketu is in your second house in Uttara Falguni Nakshatra. Mercury and Sun in your fourth house. Mercury going retrograde in December. Mars debilitated in your 12th house. Saturn sitting in your 7th house and aspecting your first house. So these combined influences can keep your anger and frustration levels high. So it's important to put in extra effort to balance your mind and maintain your healthy relationship with your family. Eat sattvic food or less spicy meals to keep your system balanced. Ketu in second house can make you a bit undisciplined with your food choices. So sticking to a regular eating schedule is essential. Avoid spicy and non-vegetarian food if possible. as they can aggravate health issues like acidity or blood pressure problems. Stay away from intoxicants like alcohol, cigarettes, or any other substances, such similar substances, as they can further impact your health negatively. With Saturn aspecting your first house, this is not the time to indiscipline in any area, especially your health. Saturn's influence will demand that you take your well being seriously. Poor eating habits or unhealthy lifestyle choices may lead to health issues. Additionally, since Ketu is impacting your ascendant lord's nakshatra, there may be some health concerns not only for you but also for your family. Stress and minor health issues within the household could arise, so be cautious and proactive about maintaining good health practices. During this period, be cautious with your speech. Try not to be harsh or egoistic, even if you don't intend it that way. Practicing politeness and mindfulness in your conversations is essential right now, as your communication style will play a major role in shaping your public image. Being thoughtful and patient when you speak can help you maintain healthy relationships and avoid unnecessary conflicts. On the bright side, this transit is favorable for those in healing professions like dietitians, nutritionists, or those in organic food industry, those in astrology research work or microsciences. Especially if your work involves technical or analytical skills, will also see positive gains. Virgo natives, Ketu is currently transiting your first house and will be entering UttaraPhalguni Nakshatra there. This is a very positive period for diving into spirituality, as Ketu in UttaraPhalguni indicates a strong connection to spiritual practices, especially with Jupiter's aspect on Ketu from ninth house, a house of spirituality. This will be the time when you might experience health issues and some financial losses, as Ketu is transiting your 12th Lord Nakshatra. However, if you remain disciplined in your daily routine and focus on improving your health habits, Saturn, which goes direct on November 15, and the positive aspect of Jupiter will help you overcome the challenges you are facing. If you are involved in any work that requires dealing with the public, like being a social media influencer, politician, or any type of public figure, your actions and your speech will have a significant impact on how you are perceived. Why? Because your ascendant lord, which rules your first house, is in the sign of Scorpio in the third house, plus Ketu is in your first house, and Sun will join Mercury on November 16th. Additionally, debilitated Mars is aspecting your second house, making your communication more harsh and potentially impulsive. The good news is that Jupiter's aspect is on your first house and your third house, which can bring wisdom and balance in your speech. So try to rely on Jupiter's calm energy rather than Mars and Ketu's fiery aggressive tendencies. For those in healing sector, whether it's through medicine, astrology, or any wellness related fields, this period will bring positive results. Helping and supporting others, especially those in need, will not only help them but also benefit you in the long run. On the downside, Ketu in your first house can make you feel lazy, less energetic, or demotivated. So it's important to stay disciplined with your health routines and food habits and keep yourself motivated. Libra ascendants. For Libra natives, Ketu is currently transiting your first house and will enter UttaraPhalguni Nakshatra there. First of all, a very beautiful and a positive placement for spiritual growth. This period will also enhance your intuition power. You may notice an increase in your inner guidance, making this a powerful time for meditation, spiritual practices, or exploring deeper truths. A key advice during this transit is to keep an eye on your spending. The 12th house can amplify unwanted expenses, and so it's best to avoid spending on non-essential items. This transit may also bring disputes or disagreements at work, particularly with higher authorities or colleagues. The Lord of Virgo, Mercury, is currently in your second house in the sign of Scorpio, while Mars, the Lord of Scorpio, is debilitated in your 10th house. This combination can lead to dissatisfaction with your career or income and may even stir up jealousy among your peers. So try to keep yourself balanced as much as possible. Although it's a very positive period for those in medical professions, working in hospitals or clinics, spiritual healers or alternative therapists or alternative healers, counselors, or those involved in social work. And as mentioned earlier, your intuition will be especially sharp now. So try to trust on your gut feelings and follow the advice that resonates deeply with you. This inner guidance can lead to both material and spiritual growth. With Ketu's influence on your 12th house, there may be some impact on your sleep. So it's important to keep yourself as stress free as possible. Engage in activities that can calm your mind and help you relax. It's also a great time to perform spiritual rituals at home like Satyanarayan Katha or Puja or Havan, as they can bring a sense of peace and positive energy in your living space. Scorpio ascendants. For Scorpio natives, Ketu is currently transiting your 11th house in the sign of Virgo and will be transiting UttaraPhalguni Nakshatra in the same house. This period might make you feel a strong urge to isolate yourself from others. You could experience frustration or anger with people around you, particularly in your career, and might find it challenging to connect with your colleagues or social circle. This period can also lead you to focus more on your own desires, where you might not consider what others feel and possibly ignore the perspectives of others. Well, it's okay to prioritize your needs, but try not to completely isolate yourself. It's important to consider what others feel or how others feel and maintain your social connections to avoid creating unnecessary distance or misunderstandings. You might see financial gains during this period, but they may not come in the way you expect. Be cautious, particularly with investments in speculative markets like stocks or cryptocurrencies, as the lord of your 8th and 11th house, Mercury, is transiting your first house along with Sun, making this a risky time for speculative activities. It's best to avoid taking financial risk during this phase. For Scorpio natives, be careful when driving or handling any risky task to avoid accidents or injuries. This period can also create issues in relationships with your friends, your siblings, and your social circle as well. It might happen that your friends may disappoint or backstab you, or for some reason you might get frustrated with your friends and don't want to be with them anymore. Of course, it won't happen to each and everyone, as everyone's chart is different. For those working in public sector, this transit could potentially bring a promotion, especially if you have been waiting for one for a while. However, despite the possibilities of advancement, you may still feel dissatisfied with your career or face disputes with higher authorities at your workplace. It's advisable to avoid engaging in conflicts with your superiors unless absolutely necessary. Sagittarius ascendant. For Sagittarius natives, Ketu is transiting your 10th house in the sign of Virgo and will be transiting UttaraPhalguni Nakshatra in the same house. This transit can bring up ego issues and dissatisfaction in your career, making you feel tempted to make major decisions like quitting your job or drastically changing your career path. However, I will suggest to avoid making impulsive decisions during this time. You may feel the urge to leave your current job due to dissatisfaction, but make sure you have a solid backup plan in place before taking any drastic step. The current planetary positions are quite tricky and may lead you to act on emotions rather than practical thought. Think carefully and practically and evaluate your options thoroughly before making any major career changes. This period can also bring dissatisfaction where you might think that your hard work is not generating any results. However, the key to overcoming these challenges is to maintain dedication, discipline, and honesty in your efforts. Don't let Ketu's influence make you lazy or less committed. Consistent hard work, even when it seems unfruitful, will eventually help you navigate through this phase. And during this transit, try not to be overly dominating in your professional environment, as this might impact your professional image in a negative manner and could create problems in your career. Capricorn ascendants. For Capricorn natives, Ketu is currently transiting your ninth house in the sign of Virgo and will be transiting UttaraPhalguni Nakshatra in the same house. Be extra cautious regarding your father's health, particularly with issues related to bones or legs. So keep an eye on any underlying health problems and ensure timely checkups for him. So be careful with that and drive safely to avoid potential accidents. Apart from that, Ketu transiting your ninth house in UttaraPhalguni is a very positive and a beautiful combination for spirituality and gaining spiritual knowledge. For those who want to go for higher studies, this period may favor you. And for those who are into healing, teaching, guidance, guiding, or spiritual healing or spiritual teaching, will see positive results. Aquarius ascendants. For Aquarius natives, Ketu is currently transiting your 8th house in the sign of Virgo and will be transiting UttaraPhalguni Nakshatra in the same house. Well, first of all, not a good time to invest in speculative markets. Not at all a good time, because your 5th and 8th house is both ruled by Mercury. And your 8th house is affected by Ketu, and Mercury as of now is in the sign of Scorpio and not in a too much of a favorable condition. So avoid big speculative investments as of now. This transit may bring tensions in marriage or create conflicts with in-laws. So be mindful of your communication and try to avoid unnecessary disputes, especially in sensitive family matters. Emotional distress might arise, so practice patience during this period. Although very positive time for those who are into occult, astrology, mysticism, auditing, research work. Though you have to be very careful with your speech, as your speech will play an important role here. With Mars debilitated in your 6th house, there is a tendency for impulsive or harsh communication, which may escalate conflicts. Focus on speaking wisely and avoiding unnecessary arguments. And since Ketu is transiting your 8th house in UttaraPhalguni Nakshatra, take care of your health and your partner's health. Pisces ascendant. For Pisces natives, Ketu is currently transiting your 7th house and will be entering the nakshatra of UttaraPhalguni in the same house in the sign of Virgo. This is the period when you have to be very careful with your relationships, because 7th house is your spouse, your relationships, your business partnerships as well. And Ketu in UttaraPhalguni is not considered as a good placement, as it can create disputes, ego clashes, dissatisfaction, and even detachment, either mental or physical, with your life partner. Your speech and actions will be crucial during this transit. Avoid harsh words and instead focus on being calm, polite, and understanding in your interactions with your spouse and business partners. Pay attention to their feelings and avoid being overly dominant in conversations. Jupiter currently transiting your 3rd house aspects the 7th house in Ketu. The Jupiterian influence provides a window of wisdom and guidance. It can help mitigate the harsh effects of Ketu if you adopt a patient and understanding approach. Lean on this energy to soothe tensions and maintain harmony. Be prepared for obstacles in your business or professional partnerships. Disagreements or ego issues or misunderstandings may arise with your partners, making it crucial to handle these conflicts with care. This is not the time to make impulsive decisions or engage in power struggles. It's important to take care of your health and your spouse's health, as you both might experience certain health issues. So be organized and disciplined in your daily routine life. I hope you found this insights helpful. then please remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Have a wonderful day ahead and meet you in the next video. Until then, take care and namaste.